Have you ever felt like you're just a tool for everyone else? A means to an end? You've climbed the ladder, you've got the corner office, the fancy apartment with the skyline view. But when you look in the mirror, the person staring back is a stranger, a ghost running on fumes. This is the story of Alex, but really, it's a story many of us are living without even realizing it. We chase success thinking it will bring freedom, but what if it builds a cage instead? A gilded cage for sure, but a cage nonetheless. Today, we're going to deconstruct this modern paradox. We'll explore why achieving everything you thought you wanted can leave you feeling emptier than when you started. And more importantly, we'll uncover the path back to yourself. The journey from being a puppet of your own success to becoming the master of your own peace. This isn't just about Alex's story. It's about reclaiming your own. Stay with me, because what we're about to discuss could change the way you define your life. Let's look at the beginning of this silent collapse. Picture Alex's apartment. It's the kind you see in magazines, minimalist, expensive, with floor-to-ceiling windows showing a city that never sleeps. Every object is a symbol of achievement. The designer furniture, the limited edition art, the perfectly stocked bar with bottles no one ever drinks. It's a showroom, not a home. And in the middle of it all is Alex, looking out at the glittering lights, but his eyes are dark. There's a profound weariness on his face, a disconnect that all the money in the world can't bridge. This isn't just a bad day. This is the quiet hum of profound unfulfillment. He's surrounded by the trophies of his hard work, but they offer no comfort. They feel hollow, like props on a stage. This is the first, critical sign of what I call success burnout. It's when the external rewards of your life no longer nourish your internal world. You're winning the game, but you've forgotten why you started playing. The silence in his luxurious apartment is deafening, filled only with the unspoken question, is this all there is? Now let's fast forward through a typical day for Alex. It's a relentless montage of demands. His phone buzzes incessantly, a constant stream of notifications. One moment, he's in a sterile boardroom, nodding along to a presentation he barely registers, his mind already on the next crisis. The next, he's on a call, his voice a calm, professional mask while his knuckles are white from gripping his phone. Alex, I need you on this. Alex, can you approve this? Alex, just a quick favor. The requests are endless, coming from colleagues, employees, family, and so-called friends. Each one chips away a small piece of him. He's become a resource, a human Swiss Army knife for everyone else's problems. Notice the expression on his face as the day wears on. It's a subtle but powerful transformation. The initial professional composure gives way to a flicker of irritation, then a deep-seated stress, and finally, a haunting emptiness. He is a ghost in his own life, a facilitator of other people's ambitions. He's constantly giving, pouring from a cup that no one is refilling. This is the dangerous reality of being too capable. Your success makes you the go-to person, but it slowly erodes your own boundaries until you're not a person anymore. You're just a function. Every structure has a breaking point, and for Alex, it arrives not in a dramatic explosion, but in a moment of crushing silence. The day is over. The calls have stopped. The demands are on pause until tomorrow. He's alone in his bathroom, staring at his own reflection in the mirror. The face looking back at him is almost unrecognizable. The confident, successful executive is gone. In his place is a tired, broken man. For a long moment, he just stares. The mask he wears for the world, the facade of being in control, begins to crack. You can see the fight go out of his eyes. His shoulders slump and he leans against the cold marble counter, his head bowed in defeat. This is the moment of terrible clarity. The realization hits him like a physical blow. His success isn't his freedom, it's his prison. The money, the status, the power, they've all conspired to build walls around him, isolating him from his own soul. He is utterly, completely alone, trapped in a life he meticulously built. It's a profound, gut-wrenching moment of surrender, not to others, but to the truth of his own misery. This isn't just burnout. It's a spiritual collapse. But the moment of collapse is also the moment of potential rebirth. After hitting rock bottom, something shifts in Alex. The breakdown becomes a breakthrough. The transformation starts small. The next morning, a call comes in. It's an urgent request, the kind he would have dropped everything for yesterday. But this time, he looks at the screen, takes a breath, and calmly declines. He doesn't make an excuse. He just says no. A simple word, but for him, it's a revolution. We then see him intentionally disconnecting. He puts his phone on silent and leaves it in another room. The constant buzzing stops, and for the first time in years, there is quiet. He walks out of his sterile apartment and into a park. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and he's just walking. No destination, no goal, no one to impress. He sits on a bench, not checking emails, but watching children play. He's finding solace not in grand gestures, but in the simplest of human activities. He's rediscovering the world outside his professional identity. This is the crucial step, reclaiming your time and your attention. It's about consciously choosing to invest in your own well-being, even if it feels unproductive. It's the beginning of finding control, not in mastering a boardroom, but in mastering oneself. The final scene of Alex's journey is powerful in its subtlety. There are no fireworks, no grand announcements. He's just sitting on that park bench. The frantic energy is gone, replaced by a quiet stillness. He's observing the world around him, present in the moment. Then a faint smile touches his lips. It's not the wide, performative grin from a company photo. It's a small, genuine, and deeply personal smile. It's the look of a man who has finally found peace. The source of this peace isn't a new business deal or a bigger apartment. It's an internal shift. He's found control, not in his wealth or his influence over others, but in his influence over himself. He has learned to say no, to disconnect, to just be. He has escaped the gilded cage by realizing the key was in his pocket all along. Alex's story is a powerful reminder for all of us. True freedom isn't about achieving more. It's about needing less. It's about defining success on your own terms, terms that include peace, presence, and authenticity. It's the quiet victory of choosing yourself. So what can we learn from Alex's journey? His story is a powerful allegory for the modern condition of burnout, especially among high achievers. The first, and perhaps most important, lesson is the power of no. Saying no is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-preservation. It's drawing a boundary that protects your energy, your time, and your mental health. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could replenish you. The second lesson is the art of disconnecting. We live in a culture of hyperconnectivity where being unavailable is seen as a weakness. But constant connection leads to constant distraction and mental fatigue. Carving out time to be fully offline, to be present in the physical world, is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity for a healthy mind. And finally, the third lesson is to redefine success. Society sells us a very narrow definition: wealth, status, and power. But as Alex discovered, that definition can be a trap. True success might be a quiet afternoon in the park. It might be a hobby that brings you joy. It might be the ability to be fully present with the people you love. It's about creating a life that feels good on the inside, not one that just looks good on the outside. If you feel like you are on the same path as Alex, remember it is never too late to change direction. Small steps, like saying no to one small thing or taking a 10-minute walk without your phone, can start the journey back to yourself. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into a story that I believe resonates with so many of us. If Alex's journey from a gilded cage to quiet freedom struck a chord with you, Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We explore topics like this all the time: mental health, personal growth, and finding meaning in our modern world. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt trapped by your own success? What small steps have you taken to reclaim your peace? Your story could be the inspiration someone else needs to see today. If you or someone you know is struggling with severe burnout or mental health challenges, please remember that reaching out for professional help is a sign of strength. Resources are available, and you don't have to go through it alone. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.